I finally get to do a live with you.
I know. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. You just killed it with Kelly Rowland. I love her. I'm obsessed.
Hey, man. So I'm glad it only shows this part of me because my hand was like this at first.
Really? Oh, you had you were cool as a fan, bro.
Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. But I'm excited to talk with you as
Yeah.
well. Been doing your thing. Because, we talked, when did you come to the Pandora office?
It was literally right before Rona was born. It was
Yeah.
like maybe a week or two before everything started shutting down.
Yeah. Because you were on your own tour and stuff too.
It was about to start, yeah. And like literally, I want to say 3 days before the tour was supposed to start, like the venue started shutting it all down. So you had to kind of, I know, it's crazy. There was like a bunch of stuff that Rona just like has been slowly taking away all the bags, but it's cool.
Right.
We're safe, healthy, keeping it pushing. So, little setback.
Little setback, but it's going to set you up for something even greater.
Yeah, I received that, man. How you doing? What's going on with you?
I'm doing good. I've just been working and adjusting like everybody else and finding ways to create content, doing these conversations. So I titled it the Making Plays Convo. And really, I just talked with people about the plays they were making before the pandemic, what they're doing now to adjust, and what they plan on doing after it's all over.
Yeah.
So it's been really constructive. I've learned a lot about different artists. I found out some good movies to watch, some new foods to try, and just how like everybody's adjusting to everything.
Yeah, you gonna try a vegan dish?
Nah, I'm not there yet.
Look, why are you stuttering? All I said was try. You're like, yeah, they're giving me new things to try. I'll do anything, but I won't.
Okay, I've tried Slutty Vegan before. Slutty Vegan is very good.
It is very good. Shout out to Pinky. I love Slutty Vegan, but I'm saying that can't be the only vegan thing you try.
I tried it a long time ago when I was out in California. My sister took me to somebody's house and they had vegan food, but it wasn't all that good. So I think that was like a traumatic experience.
See, let me tell you something. Have you ever had nasty non-vegan food?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you didn't write off all non-vegan food. Like, you know what? I'm going to be vegan from here on out. No, just give it a try.
I'm going to ease back into it. You know what? I did have some vegan fried chicken when I lived in DC. And it wasn't that bad. It was different, but it wasn't that bad.
I'm telling you, there's some stuff there's more good things than bad things. I promise. And you're in the A. So once all this is over, I will give you all the spots.
Put me onto the good vegan spots.
I got you. It's a lot of a lot of black-owned vegan spots in Atlanta too.
So how are you adjusting? Like, what does a typical day look like for you now?
I've been actually good segue. I've been cooking a lot more.
Really? What have you been cooking? Have you tried cooking any new foods?
Yeah, I did everything I'm doing is vegan. So it's like I did this vegan pizza. I had like the lentil meatballs on it and some vegetables. Me and my son, he's been like my built-in sous chef. So we've been going to town. But we made pizza for the first time. It was really good. We've been doing vegan biscuits, little breakfast sandwiches, pastas. So yeah, I'm over here. I might get on Top Chef after this. I'm just saying.
Oh, watch out now. How old is your son?
He's 11.
Wow.
And he's going on 30. I promise you. Like, he is a very, very, he's been here before.
So you're doing the homeschooling right now. Are you the homeschooling teacher right now?
You know what? Well, shout out to his teacher because they've been doing a really good job. Like, they've just switched to digital learning. So they do Zoom. Okay. And stuff like that, and he's super self-sufficient. So I'm like, do you need any help? You need anything? He's like, Ma, I got this. Like, and I'm looking at his math too. I'm like, oh God, I'm so grateful that he doesn't need me because he might lose a little respect for Mom, because I'm like.
Well, I will say this. You and your husband, y'all are used to working together and being around each other a lot.
Yeah.
So at least you're not in uncharted territory like a lot of married couples are right now. Who are spending an abundance of time and are looking at each other like, if you even look at me in the wrong direction,
no,
it's about to go down.
us working together has definitely prepared us for quarantine life. So this is slight work. You know, we're used to being around each other, but actually, it's been giving us more time not working together. You know, because everything like we've been working on, like we put out the project that we played for you stages, and you know, getting ready for tour prep. It's just been work, 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 work. So we've actually had a chance to enjoy like the marriage part of things. You know, and just
okay.
he's been teaching me how to play Call of Duty.
You been on Call of Duty?
I'm horrible. Like I die more than I kill people. But
I think that's most of us.
You said what?
I think that's most of us when we first start out in Call of Duty.
Dude, I'm not good. And I used to be good, like Nintendo 64, like with 007.
Yeah,
like,
oh yeah, I remember that game.
Perfect Dark. Like I was so good. And now I'm just like, whoa, I'm not there anymore. I'm not a gamer anymore.
Well, you know, now's a good time to get back into it. But I also saw y'all did that acoustic performance a couple of nights ago.
No, it was cool. It was for a Global Citizen there together at home. We did a little series for that. It was been really fun though. Like just like you were saying earlier, you know, just kind of trying to adjust and figure out, you know, new ways to put out content. And I feel like people are way more connected in this way than we ever have been. So you know, it's kind of cool. I miss people. I miss humans.
Yeah, yeah. Would you do another one of those?
Yeah, for sure.
Because it sounded really good. Like y'all had the setup and your husband was playing the keyboard and stuff. Y'all was in there getting it.
Thank you. Thank you. But I feel like we were prepared for this situation because everything that we've always done, like we always did covers online. We've always, you know, done acoustic videos online. So we were built for this life.
I know that's right. That's right. Now, you dropped stages in late February.
Yeah.
And Newness is doing numbers on Pandora. So
yeah,
doing very well.
Shout out to Eric Bellinger.
Yeah, shout out to Eric Bellinger. So I know you just put out that phenomenal project, but do you plan on putting out any other stuff for the remainder of the year? An EP, a full album, or what does that look like?
Yeah, hell yeah. We'd be wasting time if we didn't do something, you know?
Yeah.
But I want to put out a cover project. We've been working on it. And nothing like crazy, just like an EP of just songs that I love. Because again, we've always been about that cover life, just kind of recreating and repurposing existing art has always been fun to me. So definitely gonna do some covers. We're looking to do an extended version of stages with a few features on it. So
ooh. Anybody you can talk about?
You said, huh?
Anybody you can talk about?
Not yet, because it's a little difficult because a lot of people don't have setups from home. And, you know, so there's people who want to be a part who don't have the proper setup. So just, you know, waiting on that. But it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. And then, already working on the next project. Like, and not just music, but this quarantine has shown me how much my inspiration has more so been focused on comedy and writing like longer form content, like TV show ideas and cartoon ideas. And, you know, I think we mentioned to you when we last saw you, we were working on a musical and those sorts of things. And honestly, with the uncertainty of the industry, especially for independent touring musicians, you know,
right.
It's like, is my 5-year plan changing? And it's cool, you know, because I love doing all the things, but I've just been most inspired to do a lot of writing lately, like comedy and TV and stuff like that.
That's dope. Have you been writing for other artists as well? Because I know you've written some big hits for some major artists.
Thank you. No, my homeboy, he sent me a couple tracks and was like, hey, you ain't doing nothing. Why don't you get back? And I've honestly been inspired to do that. So I do have some records I'm sitting on that I might write for other people.
Might put them out there.
You know, might put them out there, might get. That's
why not? Why not? Speak on being an independent artist though, because when you came to the office, we talked about that, and really, it's just you and your husband putting the whole machine together. I mean, I give you guys credit. You're putting out music. You're doing your own tour. You know, you found a distribution company, but you guys are really the machine right now. What's been the greatest part about that, and what's been the most challenging part?
Ooh, the greatest part of it has been being able to adapt the way that we want to, you know what I mean? Without anyone having say over what it is that you do, what it is that you create. Like, I'm very much a Gemini, and I love the freedom that being independent gives me and allows me to reinvent myself, my sound, the things I want to talk about when I want to talk about them. So yeah, really the independence of being independent and the ownership, you know, owning my masters, which isn't a big deal to everybody, but for me, that's definitely a positive. Is just having ownership and creative control. The negative side, oh, child, like, you know, because when we were talking, there's just so many glass ceilings that you don't really know exist until you go down that road and kind of see opportunities that just aren't given to you simply because you don't even have a label. You know, it gets really it can get disheartening sometimes, but you know, my long-term goals are so much more than music, and I never want to be tied down to anything. Like I said, my stuff is always changing, and I think that the things that I do will always feed people back to the music. And as I grow in other avenues, my music will grow, and eventually owning my masters will mean something, and I believe that. But it's a very long-term game for me. So that's really the biggest reason why I went indie. But you know, it's pros and cons to everything. I would love to have a machine. I would love to know what that feels like, especially right now, because like you said, we were funding the tour ourselves. So when stuff started to get shut down, it wasn't like, oh, it's just a label budget, you know, they'll write it off. It's like, oh my God, I don't know if I can, you know, keep purchasing plane tickets to this capacity because this is my savings, you know? So, but having a label would obviously afford me that ability to just have that financial stability in a bigger entity paying for my stuff, you know? So, I don't know, I'm good right now. I'm good.
That's awesome. So what advice would you give to independent artists? Because there's so many out there, and they're, especially here in Atlanta, and they're always asking me all the time, J1, what should I do? What should I do? And I give them the best advice I can, but I'm not an independent artist, and I've never been an independent artist. So somebody that's actually experiencing that for themselves, what's like the best piece of advice you would give to somebody that's either currently indie or thinking about going indie?
I would say do everything that you can do to like just reach your bandwidth of everything that you can do on your own. Paint a picture, set a blueprint, already know what it is that you want to do before you enter even an independent situation. Try and connect with a distributor that has label services. Like, I was lucky enough to rock with Empire on my first album, All Blue. And last album, Stages, I did like completely independent, like without, you know, so it's night and day. I mean, gratefully, you know, I was able to really still cut through without having that. But I believe that a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was already set up, you know, with certain relationships. And so yeah, I would say definitely try to use a distributor who has label services to, you know, create realistic budgets so you're not owing, you know, half your life away off of one, you know, one record, one album. And yeah, and take advantage of social media. Like, social media is such a, everyone always says, oh, it feels so oversaturated, and that's true. But, you know, there's people here right now who are choosing to tune into this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's definitely a lane for everybody. And
Agreed. Totally agree. So I want to get your opinion on this. I just asked Miss Kelly Rowland, you know, we're always looking at numbers and analytics and trends at Pandora. And one thing that we noticed since the pandemic has started, that there's been an increase in R&B music as far as the streaming of R&B songs. So what, in your opinion, do you think is the cause of this, or why are people streaming more R&B at this particular time?
Because R&B is like literally the soundtrack for what this is, being incubated, being in your feelings. Like, I just don't think there's a genre that's as expressive, especially in the urban space. I mean, hip hop is very expressive.
Absolutely.
But, you know, everybody ain't trying to turn up. You know what I mean? Like, we have the IG DJs for that now. Like, you know, R&B it just feeds the soul in a way that other genres don't. And I think also, you know, radio has controlled the narrative of where R&B lives. And because people aren't taking that commute and tuning in, and, you know, they're just discovering things that they may not have listened to otherwise, because the radio doesn't really give, I'm not going to say all radio, but mainstream radio tends to put R&B in this urban AC box, and it's like oversaturated with hip hop, and it just has become what people kind of consume by default. So I think now that we have the autonomy to kind of, you know, figure out what we're listening to, we're not going to work, we're just, you know, wanting to feel something.
Yeah, feel something, especially now when there's just so much uncertainty, fear, confusion.
Yeah.
It just takes us to a different space.
Yes.
And I think that's another one of the reasons why, like, those versus battles have been so good, like, especially with Teddy Riley and Babyface, because it
Classic.
just, for that hour, it just took us somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or 2 hours, however long they were on while Teddy was fumbling with the things, but that's another conversation.
That Teddy
and I love Teddy because he's from my old neighborhood, Harlem, but that was pure comedy.
Yes, come on, Uncle Teddy.
Come on, Uncle Teddy. Speaking of comedy, I mean, you and these Beyonce impersonations that you've been doing for years, it never gets old. Tell the origin of that. Like, when did you realize that you could exactly sound like her?
I don't know. I know it sounds creepy. I've always loved her. Like, I was the original Beehive member back in '97, like Destiny's Child. I remember as a kid, like when she decided to go solo, like I was praying, like, God, please let it work for Beyonce. Like, I swear I was obsessed. So I don't know. I think just seeing her interviews, watching her, I just kind of picked up on her mannerisms. But I'm also like, I was the class clown. Like, I love making people laugh. So I've been doing impersonations of teachers.
Really?
Just I was the class clown. What are you saying? I've gotten kicked out of so many classes for being goofy. Like, I used to really mess with my science teacher in high school. I would write lyrics all over the chalkboard, or write stupid stuff, or put something out of array, you know, and he would come in and was like, he knew it was me.
You was that kid, huh?
I was that kid. But yeah, so to answer your question in a shorter way, I get very long-winded, friend.
No, it's all good. That's what these conversations are all about.
But yeah, no, I've always just loved making people laugh. So I've always been.
What other impersonations do you do? Obviously, the Beyonce one is the one we all know about. But who else do you imitate?
I do a lot of singers, actually, which came from me writing for other artists when I would demo their songs.
Oh, that's right.
I kind of had a knack for, you know, taking on whatever the artist was. And so I do Toni Braxton. I do, you know, Lil Nicki and Erykah Badu, some Shakira. Yeah, I have to send you this video I did. I was singing all these different impersonations for this fake album that Beyonce was putting together. Yeah.
I think I've seen you do Erykah Badu. That one was good as well.
Thank you.
Have you ever done it in front of them, or like done it for them?
Oh, well, Soul Train Awards, when Toni Braxton was getting the Lifetime Achievement Award, I was in the house band. And when they ran her show for Soundcheck, they asked me to fill in, and I did her entire routine, like her entire impersonation. I don't know if she heard it, but, you know, that's the closest thing I ever came to doing it live for somebody.
Wow. She probably heard it. She probably be like, damn, she sang better than me. Hold on.
No, never. Not Miss Braxton is
nah, she's a goat too. She's a goat too, but I'm sure you did your thing because we all know about your talent.
Thanks, friend.
I'm gonna wrap it up on my quarantine questions. Okay. So, what's the best thing that you've watched so far since we've been on lockdown?
Ooh, Ozark. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I watched it since season 1.
Oh wait, so you were like in real time?
Yeah, I was in real time. So like when they said it was coming out, when it came out, when the lockdown first started, I said thank you Netflix. For real. So you just got put on to Ozark.
I did.
So you binged the whole thing.
I'm all caught up.
Wow.
What you gonna do? I couldn't even believe that girl. What's her name?
Wait a minute, do her voice again.
Was it good? Why? What's his name? What's the man's name on there?
Oh,
Marty.
Marty, yeah.
No, it's good. It's really good.
Have you? Well, you talked about the new vegan foods that you've obviously cooked and stuff. What are some things that you've learned through this whole time and through this whole process?
That I am boring. Because now let me tell you, I
Boring
am
where?
so, huh?
I said boring where?
No, I mean I'm fun, you know, but my day to day, like I don't feel that out of my rhythm, you know, because again, I'm so used to working from home and so used to being around my family that yeah, this kind of feels like second nature. So the fact that I'm not, they are making me laugh with these with what they're saying.
Oh yeah, they're saying do the roar.
Because this is an ongoing joke. Because every time I get on live, they're always like, "Oh, do the Beyonce impersonation," and I'm like, "Y'all got me feeling like Shrek when he was at the party and the little kid was like, do the roar,
do the roar."
And Shrek is like, I'm at, you know, my kid's birthday party, and they're like,
right. Do the roar.
So they're being funny, telling me to do the roar, which is the Beyonce impersonation.
That is hilarious. Do the roar.
Always. But
no,
yes, I've learned that I'm boring and that this isn't that far removed from my day to day. The only thing that I miss is being able to go out to eat, which also shows that I have a problem with spending money on food. So I've saved a lot of money and I'm good.
You and me both. My last question, you know, with all that's going on, people in fear, people losing their jobs, not knowing where their next check is going to come from, and we don't really have an answer from our government, our local government, our state government just doesn't seem to be on the same page. What advice would you give people?
As far as?
Just to get through or to deal with everything that we're dealing with right now.
I would say take it one day at a time and not to judge yourself during this process. Because like in the beginning of it, you know, you felt this obligation to be super productive. You saw those memes going around like, you know, if you don't come out of this speaking 5 million languages,
right.
You ain't shit. And I'm like, dang, like, okay, cool. Because this is really traumatic, what we're going through right now. You know, so the fact that people are even able to find, I mean, Black people, we're super resourceful. You know, we make soul food out of scraps. You know, so the fact that we've been able to turn this into an experience of laughter, of connection, of music, of competitions, like all of these cool things that have kind of, I feel like we good. We're gonna be all right. We always are, and one day at a time, and just focus on the beautiful things that have kind of come out of this. So yeah.
That's great advice right there. And I so appreciate your time. I finally got to go live with you. See, it'd be funny because when you go live, I'll be putting the request in. You're like, hey, poster child. Hey, how you doing?
You never have.
But yo, once all this is over, make sure you and your husband, if you want to bring your son, come through to the Pandora office and we'll kick it. We'll listen to some new music.
Yes,
and we'll have a good time all over again. All right. Give everybody my regards.
Yeah, no, I will. And thank you for supporting. I appreciate you. And I appreciate what you're doing for artists, man. Like, this is really dope.
We trying, man. We all in it together, like you said.
Yeah.